Hi, I'm Joe Steyer, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about what's going on in the world of business, data, integration, dashboards. And first of all, I'm kind of depressed I'm not with you guys. I'm at a national conference in Chicago. I'm on the National Investment Conference board there, and we had a conflict of schedules. I'd be at this conference, a big time to be together. But you see my loyalty. Wearing the pin here, talk about our partnership and what's going on in the world of data, dashboards, transformation around organizations today, how we want to see the world differently today. And so I'm going to cover 4 or 5 topics that I'm experiencing professionally as CEO of Signature Healthcare. I'm also seeing other investments I'm seeing changing today. How do you find a partner? How do you integrate? How do you stay current with so much stuff going on today? So Signature Healthcare quickly was a top 10 largest post-acute care system in the country, really service from Miami to Chicago, most of the Mid-Atlantic, about 17,000 employees. Good organization that I helped co-found with some partners, and we think of ourselves as pretty revolutionary in post-acute space. And to be honest with you, when I think about in building the company, how different is today with data, and that we think about how are we going to integrate data, what should our dashboards be, how do we triangulate what's going on, and we think about today's conference, we're going to be hearing about a lot of topics. I know we're going to be covering integration, dashboards, triangulation data. I hear we got a blockchain speaker as well, looking at other ways to integrate, admin costs. But we're at a time right now where it's the largest change I've ever seen in business history. So I'm 52 years old. When I first came out, I remember initially, as an auditor at a big 6 guy and a hospital CEO, getting information was the hardest thing. And so I spent a 30-year career trying to find information. And now we've got so much data coming at us. How do we interpret it? How do we lead with it? Who do we trust? Who's the right partner? And so today at Signature, we got 3 big things going on in the data world that I think are important that we're actually working with our partner here. So first thing is we're dealing with family engagement and consumer engagement for the first time in our company history. It used to be we couldn't get to our customers. It was an old vanilla survey world. Today we're in an area between the social media implications and then family engagement on the apps and how do we communicate today? How do we triangulate all those sources together to really understand customer experience? In healthcare today, I think everybody on this broadcast in my healthcare experience has struggled with understanding where your loved one is, where are you, where's the right choice for healthcare, how do you score it, how do you trust quality? So right now, when we think about what's going on in Signature, we're going through a revolution in consumerism about how do we find a partner who can triangulate data, link social media with clinical information and some of our stakeholder feedback and put it together in a rubric and a scoring that works for us to be reliable, statistically valid, and also communicate and leverage in the marketplace out across the country to build consumer trust. We all know today, everybody in this room is dealing with consumer trust issues. The world's moving so fast for all of us today that it's hard to stay current. It's hard to decide who the right partner is. So we think about the triangles of data here at Signature, with the help and talking through things. And what I like about this conference is if you work with Sadir's group, a lot of openness around consulting projects. A lot of times we can start on some slice of data. We can talk through stuff, interpretation. Question I've got, I can call those guys and talk about it and say, I want to look at this data, or how do you see this? So we think about interpretation of data, very important area. So in healthcare today, we hope in the next 5 years to take out about 20% of our administrative costs. Secondly, we want to speed up decision-making. And we've set up an informatics department here where we started triangulating those bridges. And we're seeing healthcare is going to go through the biggest change ever, transformationally, I've ever seen in my lifetime. So as a business person, if you're an owner, you're an IT person, you're in operations, this is probably the most exciting time to be alive as a leader since the internet. I think about today, I remember the internet was kind of a big game changer for us. I think the data transformation, the data analytics is probably the biggest change we'll see in our lifetimes today if we understand it. So let's talk about the triangles of data. How do we really triangulate data? How do we partner that way? How do we make that data be a competitive advantage for our companies? What kind of dashboards are we building? So part of our struggle has been really talking through dashboards with Stearns Group is today, we can't get data from 25 sources. So I think that the day of dashboards on our phone, daily dashboards, that's really are to understand where we stand daily across, especially at Signature Healthcare, we're trying to understand in a decentralized company, where do you stand at all times? Today I'm seeing opportunities where I used to have to get on a plane and fly across the country just to meet with customers, understand where I thought I was. Today I've got dashboards, I've got consumer data, I've got stakeholder experience coming in together, but to get it in the right dashboard, in the right operability is one of the biggest changes we can make in the state. And I think this conference, we're going to drill into those areas about the value of that dashboard, the custom dashboard for you and your business to make sure it's what you need. Your team can understand it, not just you, but your whole downstream can understand it. And it can be done so cost effective right now. Things that would have cost six figures now can be done at fractional cost with the right partner. This conference is going to go in those areas of change. Same time as we think about some of the data analytics outside the dashboard, we're starting to understand that in primary and secondary data, there's a lot of secondary data we're discarding now as non-reliable. So we think about partnering with Sudhir in the group. Think about the power of statistically valid data. That's the kind of data I can stand behind when I'm out marketing or I'm giving a speech or I'm trying to sell a hospital group. People want to see data that's reliable. And we think with the right dashboard, the right training process, we've got a chance right now in the country to embrace this new era of transformation and really grow with it. Same time as I've been a self-employed business guy, been in a lot of different businesses. I don't care if it's restaurants. We've got a small restaurant business that I've invested in my friends, and they're going through the same thing. I don't care if it's small business, medium-sized, large. This is time to really think about getting the dashboard in place, triangulating data, getting rid of data noise you don't need, and really come down to success factors that you think is going to be a competitive advantage in your business. Right now, I would tell you that competitive advantage with the speed of light, there's going to be so much obsolescence and so many big winners and big losers that I'm almost overwhelmed with all the options today. So then we think about the options we have as leaders today to triangulate, dashboard, mine the data, get rid of noise, and build a cost-effective solution. That's why this conference is going on. And that's also what Sudhir's team brings value to customers. They want to host a conversation. They want to have breakout sessions. They want to learn from all of us. They want to learn from operators, owners about what's important to us. That's why the next couple of days is a great chance to get together and really work through those areas. I hate not being there because this is just an incredible opportunity to sit down with a lot of people from different industries. One thing we're doing recently at Signature, there's a great piece called the Medici Effect about how do you remove barriers of associate barriers. And when you think about it, the great thing about this conference also is it's different industries. A lot of our team, we say, don't go to a healthcare conference, go to another conference where it's not just healthcare. Learn from retail, learn from other areas. So what's great about this venue, the way they're selected, the users coming, the owners coming, a lot of different industries coming in today over the next couple of days to work with you guys. So always share, think about it in healthcare. If I get too narrow focus, I can't solve the problem. So I think that Medici Effect of how do we really intersect industry best practices in the data world is another exciting thing we can really attack next couple of days. Also, I think what's going on for me and just kind of being part of watching this do is I think that I've learned that to start with small projects, and follow the eyes, get the software in the user's hands. Gen 1 dashboards, get a Gen 1 dashboard done in a way that you think it's the way you want it. And then follow the eyes. Where do they go? And think about it, not overcomplicated, but I think it's so important we just continue to get a Gen 1 up and then go to Gen 2. A lot of people, I think, in the IT world and the data world, try to build these complicated mousetraps that are so elaborate. But I think we can start with just that, hey, this solves this pain. Let's solve this pain here and make ourselves more effective. And then by solving that pain, there's a cumulative effect going on at the same time, and a synergistic effect that we can really capitalize on. So we've learned here at Synergy, a lot of times we would just, almost overcomplicate ourselves. So I would tell you when you're working with a team like Sudhir's, take your pain point, map the process, really attack that first in generation 1, and let's don't try to build everything at once. And let's follow the eyes, follow the user, follow the customer. That's how we're really going to solve the problems and build out competitive advantage faster. At the same time, I promise you, next year, this annual event, we'll definitely be there with you guys. We're in Chicago. Right now, healthcare is going through a crazy time in our country. We've got hospitals closing, nursing homes closing, just almost too much cost, too much capacity. So we're definitely going through our period of transformation here. I would tell you these areas around the analytics will be what will make Signature succeed. How we mine the data, how we triangulate it, and how we make it statistically valid to make decisions that affect lives around that. It's a big part we do here at Signature Healthcare. And I think when we think about talking to Sudhir and the team and the depth, it's the speed they can move at too. One thing I really enjoy is that when you work with a partner, you want to feel like you can solve a problem, in a short time period. It's not a long, lengthy process. We've tried some really big problem solving here that took too long. We want to solve problems today. And this conference is all about solving problems, making our business world easier, making the operator stronger, and building competitive advantage for all of us as we go forward. Next time, please call us at Signature Healthcare. We can help you guys. We're always going to be working as partners in this consulting world of how do we solve the problems. At the same time, I hope you have a great week. working through your conferences, the breakout sessions. I went through the agenda. It's a fantastic group. I would tell you also, this is a company you can trust, that you can partner with, in my opinion. There's a lot of ways to get wins for each and all of us as we go through ownership. I don't care if it's retail, restaurants, hospitality, healthcare, real estate. All these vertical intersections have some of the same problems going on. At the same time, we got a chance to transform it and really build value we haven't seen in years. Have a great week. I want to thank you guys for letting me be part of this. And like I said, I hate not being there with you, but I promise you I'll see you this time next year for the conference. And I'd love to hear some questions that you guys might have that might pop up. I'd love to drill into some questions that you might have and go there.